Yo, Halito. Peace, everybody. Peace, family. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. I'm gonna be on here for an hour. Thank y'all for showing up. Appreciate y'all. All right. I got a presentation today. Peace to everybody in the chat. My Yahtzee's in the building. My Yahtzee, LaShonda, and Anthony. Peace to y'all. All right. Trying to give a couple more people time to come on in. Cause peace. All right, so tonight we just digging into the spiritual aspects of the clan system with the animal spirits. So peace to everybody that's observing. If you're new to this channel, this is Southeastern TalkingStick podcast. I also have my own YouTube channel, which is Raven Red Tail Hog Jaguar XI, which stands for she. You can also check me out on my channel. All right, so I'm gonna get started. Now, the animal spirits are reverenced in indigenous culture throughout various tribes. Even today, it's been borrowed from our ancestors with like the different teams, how they have a mascot and things of that nature. So even with the zodiac, etc. But animal spirits are important. Now, animal spirits show up for an individual, like, say, when a baby is born. When you were born, your ancestors saw an animal spirit or something that was going on in the environment, and that was your name. Of course, you have your clan, your totem for your clan that is separate. That's the clan, right? But each person has animal spirit guides. All right, you have ancestral spirit guides. Animal spirits guide you throughout your life, right? So you have many directions. They say it could be inner, which is where great spirit, great mystery lives, and then you have north, south, east, and west, and front and back. All right. So in essence, that is like 7. They say sometimes a person can have up to 9. You will have these guys throughout your life to help you on your journey, no matter which road you travel, right? So with the animal spirits, I'm just breaking down the importance of animal spirits and totems for clans and how everyone has animal spirit guides who guide us from every direction of one's being, whom works with great spirits, 4 main elements, and various things in nature in an effort to guide souls in the spiritual, mental, and physical realm on their life's journey, traveling various roads to fulfill your life's purpose. All right. Now, this could vary from tribal nation to tribal nation. Every tribal nation has their clan system. All right. So, the Anianwaya, the Salagi, Chalagi, have 7 clans. It was 12 clans, all right, but it has been reduced to 7 clans, all right. So under Unetla Nuhi, which is our word for great mystery, great spirit, the source of all things, the creator, creatress energy. All right. So we have the Panther clan, the Jaguar Wildcat clan, which is Ani Sahoni. We have the Bird clan, which is Ani Siskwa. We have the Deer clan, which is Ani Awi. We have the Wolf clan, which is Ani Waya. We have the Long Hair clan, Ani Gelohi. We have the White Potato clan, which is the Ani Gatogiwi. We have the Paint clan, which is the Ani Wodi, the Fire Keepers. All right, the Bird clans. All right, bird spirits. Now, the bird spirits are the messengers of Great Spirit, Great Mystery, Unet La Nuhi. All right. So, a lot of leaders in the bird clan are messengers, spiritual messengers. All right. They are the sacred keepers of the birds. They keep the sacred feathers, the feathers that you get for the chiefs and various people, important people in the tribe. They get the feathers. Of course, you have the feathers for the sacred fans and all your regalia. Okay, so the people from the bird clan, they are keepers of the birds. They also do the hunting of the birds, and they clean and purify everything. It's a ceremony, a ritual, a process that happens after, the bird passes away. So they clean it, they do ceremony, they purify it and cleanse it so it can be used in that regalia that you buy in at powwows or wherever, or if you come upon a sacred feather. All right, so they were also skilled with blowguns and snare traps. All right. Now, in some tribes, well, they call it where you use eagles or hawks, falconry, things of that nature, to hunt for food, basically, to hunt for game. But the bird clans, the leaders, carried this role. Okay. Now we have some important birds here. All right, the condor, which is in other various indigenous tribes, they honor the condor. Is like, okay, so the highest bird is considered the thunderbird. Thunderbird could be considered the condor, the eagle, and the red-tailed hawk. We have different stories depending on what tribal nation you are a part of. There are sacred stories that list these three main birds as a depiction of the thunderbird. All right. So you have the condor. The condor is big in Mesoamerican Indian tribes, indigenous tribes. We have the golden eagle, and then we have the bald eagle. The bald eagle is a sea eagle. But the golden eagle, that's yeah. That is, like I said, the birds are the messengers of Great Spirit, Great Mystery. So whenever you see a sacred bird of prey, they call them raptors, all these derivatives. All right. When you see a bird soaring, hovering, our ancestors looked at the behavior of the animals and the birds of prey. They looked at the behavior to see what were the messages, what were the spiritual messages from Great Spirit. In this case, Unet La Nuhi. What are the messages? So they would deliver the message. Even in life today, when you see a lot of birds, if like the sirens are going off or if something is going on, you pay attention to the bird activity, the birds will get to acting strange. When the birds are acting strange, you best believe something is going on. Peace to everybody in the chat. Co Halito. So, another bird that is prized in Mesoamerican indigenous tribes is the macaw. Macaw feathers are just like eagle and red-tailed hawk feathers are prized possessions. They have a deep meaning. Like it's like the highest honor to get one of these feathers. If you are presented with that from your tribal nation, your clan leader, if you are presented with that, that's one thing. But if Great Spirit presents that to you, that's on a whole nother level. All right. So I do have we have the golden eagle, we have the raven, the crow. Some tribes, they view the raven and the crow as a good spiritual animal, and some of them have a fear of the raven and the crow. Just like with anything, you can have good medicine or something that's poison, right? So it depends on the practitioner. The practitioner will depict on if they're going to flow in good medicine or they going to flow in poison. So the raven is in other like hoodoo and things of that nature going on that tree, because y'all know I represent my admixtures. I am your Creole indigenous spiritualist, the ancestral shapeshifter. So y'all gonna get a gumbo pot from me, but I'm trying to keep it with the clan system, and then we can color outside the lines shortly. But with the raven and the crow, they are messengers. They deal with things that are hidden, revealing things that are hidden. You just look at the eyesight of these different birds of prey. Even like the owl can see at night, can see through the darkness. All of these birds have pristine eyesight. They can see through the bullshit, basically. All right. So you have mentioned the owl. We have even the robin. That is not necessarily in the Jalagi, but I am referencing a couple of sacred birds that stood out to me today. So again, you have the condor, the golden eagle, the sea eagle, the bald eagle. You have the red-tailed hawk. Those red-tail feathers show that you are mature in your spiritual journey. Like you going from the apprentice to the next level type thing. All right. You have the raven and the crow. All right. That's like in between the spiritual and the physical world. All right. And you have the owl. And each of these birds, there's medicine that goes with each one. So if they are your guides, that's another thing. Then that speaks to who you are as a person. But if it's a part of your clan, the bird clans could represent various birds. All right. Deals with the spiritual realm. And now we have the Panther clan, which is the Jaguar or the Wildcat clan, the Ani Sahoni. Panther medicine is studied by, the leaders, the elders. They studied the behavior of the various wildcats. Okay. That is Tivdatsi, Wesa. Those are the the panther, the big cats, the wild cats. All right. They were studied, how they hunted, how they lived, their behavior. Our ancestors took notes. All right. They made special medicines for children. Whoever, if you are a part of the Panther clan, you made sacred medicines for children to heal children. All right. They taught about the herbs, and the blue holly is where one of the infamous black drinks come from. Okay. Uh, the blue holly is a main ingredient in that. It's kind of like, I won't even say it's like coffee because they try to compare it to coffee, but it's no comparison. But it promotes purification. Purification. So you have the blue holly. This clan also is represents the blue holly tree, and they are teachers, leaders, healers, and they focus on the land and tradition. That's with various tribes in any part of the Americas. All right, in any part of the Americas. Some tribes view the jaguar as the physical manifestation of Great Spirit here on the earth realm because it's at the top of the food chain. All right. So you had the blue holly tree. Let me go back. Did I say the tree for the bird clan? The bird clan, their tree is the maple tree. So when they do ceremony, there is a piece of wood from each clan that can light a sacred fire for a ceremony or a ritual. So the maple tree is for the bird clan. I forgot to mention that. And then for the panther clan, the blue holly tree, which is how you get the black drink that promotes purification. All right. We have, what is this? This is the lynx. We have the lynx. We have the cougar, the puma, the mountain lion, the golden jaguar, and of course the midnight black jaguar. Also represents the spots, represent, the cosmos, the things happening in the cosmos that are mirrored here in the earth realm. Next, we have the wolf clans. The wolf clan, the Aniwaya. From this clan, you usually get the war chiefs from this clan, according to the Jalagi, the Aniwaya. You get the war chiefs from this clan, and warriors. Strong warriors come from the wolf clan. They are protectors of the people, the community, and the environment. They study the wolves' behavior. The wolves are also used in sacred ceremony. People from the wolf clan, they track the wolves, and this is how you get the sacred skins of the wolves that are used for certain things. All right. So you have all shades, just like our relations out there. We come in all shades. So don't discriminate. If you see one from the darkest, which are close to the ancient, the originals, to the lightest, don't discriminate. Shout out to all my relations out there. So you have the black wolf, the gray wolf, the red wolf, the white one, and then you have one in the background howling at the moon. But the tree that is for the wolf clan is the hickory tree. So that is a sacred tree for the wolf clan. So they do a lot of medicine from the hickory tree. And today people use hickory to like smoke meats and things. So it's real interesting. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull. Peace to everybody in the chat. I'm just checking on y'all. Oh, okay. Excuse me. So we got the hickory tree. Is their tree? Give me just a second. Thank y'all for your patience. And I'm gonna go over a couple of ancient stories too. I'm gonna try to get one in. Okay. All right. Let me see. Excuse me, y'all. And somebody asked about the 12 clans. You can do some research on that. There are ancient books you can look into. And there is another clan that's not listed here. I do mention them, but I don't go into depth on this video. I have done it in the past on my channel, but give me just a second. Okay, so with the hickory tree for the Wolf Clan, they did mix nuts of the hickory in cold water to make a rich, nourishing drink. The meat from the hickory nuts were pounded and boiled, skimming the surface of the boiled nuts provided butter. All right, the bark was used to weave baskets and to make archery for bows. Smoke from burning green hickory wood added flavor to the meat, hence where people use hickory to smoke meats now. All right. All right, so that's the Sacred Wolf Clan. Just an overview. Whether you identify with the black wolf, the red wolf, the gray wolf, the white wolf. The red one is the brown one. Reddish brown, copper color type of energy. But you have all shades. So shout out to all my relations out there. All right, the next clan, we have the Deer Clan, which is the Ani Awi. They practice deer medicine. It's also called the Buffalo Clan. They are hunters, trackers, seamers, tanners, fast runners, foot messengers to deliver messages from village to village, kind of like today your mailman or woman type energy. The women of the clan were wrapped in deer skin or buffalo skin. Now, the stickball battle, it also could represent a battle of the medicine people. It's a ritual ceremony. Stickball, so y'all can do some research on stickball. It's kind of similar to the ball game for Mesoamerican tribes, the Itsamaya with the ball game. All right, so it's just a different type of ball game, but it's warriors and spiritual warriors and physical warriors battling on the field, on the court, whatever you want to call it. You can learn the the names in your tribal language. All right. So stickball was okay. It could represent the battle of the medicine people. It's a ritual and it's a ceremony. Also, the stump dance, which is a sacred dance in our culture. So the tree, the wood that is represented by the deer clan, the buffalo clan, is the oak wood tree. All right. And I did throw in here my ancestors' mantle, which is the Powhatan mantle. So I threw that in there because a hone or hone is great spirit, and it's a representation of the deer. All right. Great spirit shows up as a deer. So I had to throw that in there. So y'all gonna see sometimes I color outside the lines because I have a Creole mixture, all right, in my bloodline. So the oak tree is the tree of the deer clan. Okay. So with the deer clan, you also have okay, of course they hunted sacred deer. Of course they gave thanks, and a lot of things are made out of deer skin, like the wraps for the women, um different sacred items are made from deer skin. So with the oak tree, okay, let's see. Okay, with the oak tree, you can construct homes, canoes, mortars. With the bark of the white oak, it contains tannin, which was used to provide relief to pain and itching from insect bites. The bark was also brewed for those suffering from heart conditions. I am not a medical doctor. I'm just telling you what our ancestors used these things for to promote healing, right? So white oak bark was used to treat heart conditions. You could build things from the white oak tree and just oak trees. You can build strong, sturdy things, benches, tables, canopies, from different oak trees. You got red oak, white oak, different colors. All right. So that is the deer clan. Um, a lot of tribes incorporate some of the same animals. So the animal spirits can mean the same thing, a lot of the same things, but there may be some differences per your tribal nation, per your clan. All right. So, all right. The white potato clan, which is also the bear clan, the raccoon clan, and the blind savannah clan. Now, their tree is the birch tree. The wild potato clan is the Anigatogiwi. This consists of the farmers, the gatherers, of nature's food along the swamps, the bayous, the creeks, and streams. All right, this is where they planted and gathered the wild potatoes and other crops because they were the farmers. All right, so you have the raccoon and you have the bear. So, as I stated before, the Aniawaya, the Jalagi had 12 clans. Now it has been reduced to 7 clans. So, some of these clans have other clans absorbed into it. So, this one, the Wild Potato Clan, has the bear and the raccoon, the Blind Savannah Clan, all in one, which represents the Ani Gatogiwi. All right. And now you have the Wind Clan, the Twister Clan, the Long Haired Clan, which consists of the Ancient Warrior Woman Society, the Gitla Gunata, or the Giga, or the Gilahi, which is the beloved woman, the warrior woman. All right. This ancient warrior woman society came from the Wind Clan, the Twister Clan, the Long Hair Clan. Now, these women were the teachers and the keepers of tradition. The first teacher of the children is the woman, the mother, right? So they taught them the ways of the tribe. And depending on what tribal nation you're from, we honor Selu, which is the great corn mother. All right, she showed them how to do everything, basically. Like the mother shows you how to do everything, whether that's from planting to whatever. Also with the sacred prayer, peace pipe, just different principles, traditions, the traditions of your tribe. The beloved woman or the warrior woman taught the children. They were the keepers of tradition. A lot of the peace chiefs came from the Wind Clan, Long Hair Clan. They also wore white feathers. The women decided the fate of prisoners of war, if they were to be unalived or to be adopted into the tribe. So they also used, I didn't even put yes, I did, the beech tree. All right, so they use the nuts and the barks to cleanse the body of parasites. So the beech tree, the wood from the beech tree, cleanse the body of parasites. The beloved women wore long hair and elaborate hairdos. So shout out to my long hair clan members out there. And so I just have the long hair, the twister, the air element comes to play in this. So a lot of things in nature are highlighted in tribal nations, clans, and the spirituality and culture of the tribe. They incorporate things in nature, which is earth, air, fire, water, and of course, the first one is spirit, and things in nature like animals, birds of prey, food, food meaning different crops, plants, trees, flowers, berries, roots for medicine, because in nature it's things that promote medicine, and there are some poisonous things out there, so you got to know your shit. Okay, so shout out to the matriarchs out there, the Gigas, the Holitopa Ishkis, the Wachis, the matriarchs. Shout out to all the beloved and warrior women's. Yeah, yeah. Yep, that is right. Okay, so let me stop this for a minute. I'm gonna look at the comments. Peace to everybody in the chat. If you just tuned in, I appreciate you. This week is my segment, and then next week, Chatupa will have his segment. And then on the 21st, the winter solstice, we will do our Sunday panel discussion. All right. So y'all stay tuned for those. But today I'm speaking on the importance of animal spirits, whether that's your clan representation, that animal or bird of prey, or the thing in nature that symbolizes your clan, or your individual spirit guides. You have ancestral spirit guides, and you have either animal or bird spirits that guide you on your journey. Your journey called life. Okay. So we have the clan that honors the women, the warrior women, the beloved women. Now we have the Red War Paint Clan. The Paint Clan. Their tree is the locust tree. Now, this is the Aniwodi, the fire keepers, the secret clan, the keepers of the sacred flame, the medicine men. They make a special red war paint. All right. When you go into war, and they make things for medicinal purposes from herbs and the coals from the sacred fire. Sacred objects for ceremonial purposes. Teaching knowledge of birth, life, and death. Teaching second sight. Seeing what is hidden. They also carried clear quartz in their medicine bag. All right, so you see the red paint. We have the tomahawk, which represents war. This could be a smoke tomahawk, meaning you have a war and a peace side. In this aspect, it's representing the war side. So they have different things in their medicine bag. One of those is clear quartz. Clear quartz is a sacred stone that is like a real powerful battery. It will like amp up the frequencies to help you. It basically will enhance your spiritual gifts. All right. Help you see through the bullshit. They use these sacred stones like when they're judging people. They would have that clear quartz out. You also have, the medicine pouch that has the sacred objects in it. And the medicine bag will be made from deer skin or otter skin, which are sacred animals. Hence, you have the shining ones. This is a clan that is secretive. Now, this clan does remind me of the Anikutani, which I have mentioned in previous videos and on my individual channel. There are stories about the Anikutani. Are they really evil? Are they really bad? Or did some of the stories demonize them? So you won't dig deeper to research who are the Anikutani. All right. It's an ancient clan. All right. It was an ancient clan of medicine people. So now you have the Paint Clan, which is the Aniwodi, the fire keepers. the keepers of the sacred flame. They are the only ones to make that special red paint that is used to represent war. All right, for the war chiefs. All right. So you can look into who the shining ones are. Okay, who are the shining ones? And you can do a little research on the Anikutani. So their tree is the locust tree. All right, give me a second because I did make some notes. Anybody got any comments or questions? This is just, an informative, knowledge-based video podcast build today. And it should prompt people to find out who your clan is. Now, I have been told by an elder that my clan is the long hair clan, which is why I give a shout out to the long hair clan. But that's just of a couple of my ancestors. Okay, I have several different ancestors, as do you. So if you have various tribal nations in your bloodline, then you may be from different clans. Now, we live in a world today where they make you choose one tribal nation to represent yourself, even though on your mother's side you have several different tribal nations in your bloodline, but they make you choose one nation, right? Just like when you get your citizenship card from whatever tribal nation you are from, you have to pick one. You can only have one tribal nation card. You cannot have multiple, even though you have multiple tribal nations in your bloodline. So you can just do research on your family, their last name, what roles they're on. You can deal with your tribal nation and they will tell you the different roles. They have the clan listed by your ancestor's name or that last name. So you just gotta get with your different tribal nations and learn about your genealogy, learn about what clan you belong to and what your clan represented, the spirituality and culture of your ancestors. Learn it, know it, start learning your language. We always promote this. Learn your language, learn your ancestors' ways. All right, so that is basically all the clans, the 7, basically. The 7 clans. Let me see. Is there anything else I wanted to touch on? And I gotta pull this up. Give me a moment. I thank y'all for tuning in. Anybody got any comments or questions? I see people. LaShonda says she needs to find her clan. And you know who to talk to for that. Big Pontiac said something about the sacred ball games. Yes, they could be used for disagreements. Yeah, the battle between the medicine people or the battle between the elders, the battle. It makes me think about there is one tribe in still part of the Americas. It's one tribe in It's one tribe, when they have disagreements, they fight it out and get it out the way. So we just left November, and the friendship ceremony time is in November. This is when you would deal with disagreements. Make it right with your relations. Whoever you had a problem with, y'all talk it out. Hey, on some private shit, even if y'all gotta fight it out and get that shit out and make peace. Is the thing, the moral of it, or the purpose or object of it, is to get the things out on the table and make peace. And make peace. All right. Make peace to where y'all can just be cordial with one another, because everybody don't gotta be your bestie. That's just reality. You're not gonna agree on everything, but sometimes disagreements have to be addressed. So yes. Yes, peace, Chico. All right. And I'm trying to pull up this because I wanted to share this story. Also, the colors mean something. So you got to look at, like right now, football is going on. My daddy is listening to the game, and I hear him talking shit in the background. So I'm trying to stay focused. But even like the teams, they choose their colors, they choose the mascot. They borrowed that from our indigenous cultures. So the colors and the mascots is basically having some kind of, you tapping into the spiritual aspects of that animal or that bird of prey. You have watched their behavior. So just like, birds of prey, they swoop down and handle business, get their prey, and they can be a deadly weapon type of thing. Just like the jaguars or the panther clan, the studying the behavior of the animals, those attributes. And whatever animal spirit is your personal guide, you have some attributes that animal or bird of prey has. Or yeah. Excuse me. I'm trying to look for this one thing. But basically, with this red paint clan, now the sacred fire is considered the soul of the Jalagi people. So the principal people, we have principles. We have morals. We have spirituality and culture. Now, even though it's the red paint clan, the color is white. All right, so this is why I have it in red and white. So let me look at the chat. All right, while I'm looking for this, does anybody have? Yep. Oh yeah. Cosmic Light 357. You got to look at how many grandparents do you have on your mother's side, because a lot of tribes are matrilineal. They go by your mother's side. Some tribes will go by your mother's or your father's side. And in today's society, they say, "Oh, you what your daddy is." No, you're what your mother is. You came from the womb of your mother. Your mother has the mitochondrial DNA. So, some tribes, if you have an ancestor on your maternal or your paternal side, you could get citizenship based on either side. And so you just got to look at You got so many grandparents on your mama's side, so many grandparents on your father's side. So it is common for the average person to have multiple tribal nations, ancestors that were a part of different tribal nations in your bloodline. So that's not uncommon. That is not rare. The average person has several different tribes. Because I don't know a person that everybody in a family was Chata. Like every single set of grandparents was Chata on both sides. I haven't met a person that's like that. So if you meet a person like that, come back and share it with us, Cosmic Light 357. Come back and share with us. I'm just trying to find a story. Thank y'all for your patience. Any more comments or questions? Because we about to shut this down in a minute. My plan was to come on here and be with y'all for an hour. Okay, I'm gonna pull up this story, and then we're gonna close out. So this is just me giving honor to one of my ancestors, which was my great cousin, Werawansqua Coco Koweski from the Powhatan tribe. She was the chiefess Werawansqua of the Pamunkey tribe. All right. She was a diplomatic, beloved woman, warrior woman. She had to flow in peace and war. So I handcrafted this. It does have some hidden feathers that an elder gave me, and I made this headdress. So I wore this in honor of my great cousin, who was a woman chief of the Pamunkey tribe. She is from the Powhatan bloodline. So, and that's Powhatan's mantle in the background. So, the Red War Paint Clan, all right. Their tree is the locust tree. I'm doing a recap, and then I'm gonna go to the story. It's about the rattlesnake. All right. So, the Red War Paint Clans. The Paint Clan is the Aniwodi, the Keepers of the Sacred Flame, the Fire Keepers. This was a secretive clan. They were Keepers of the Sacred Flame, medicine men. They made the special red war paint. They made the sacred war paint. They made it from herbs and coals from the sacred fire. They also had sacred objects for ceremonial purposes, teaching knowledge of birth, life, and death, teaching tapping into your first sight. It's really your first sight. They say teaching of the second sight, seeing what is hidden. They carried sacred quartz, crystals in their medicine bag, their medicine pouch. It was made of deer skin, otter skin. They practiced secret knowledge, all right, secret rituals and ceremonies. Look into the Shining Ones and the Anikutani, which is an ancient clan. All right. Shout out to the Wind Clan, the Twister Clan, the Longhair Clan, which is the ancient warrior woman society of the Gitla Gunahita, or the Gilahi, or the Giga, the beloved warrior women. All right. They wore their hair long. They wore elaborate hairdos. They were the teachers, the keepers of tradition. The peace chiefs came from this clan, according to the Jalagi. All right. They wore white feathers. The women decided the fate of the prisoners of war. Would they be unalived, or would they be adopted into the tribe? Um, they used the nuts and the barks of the beech tree to cleanse the body of parasites. The beloved women, yes. So they did do secret ceremonies among the women. So you have women medicine, medicine women, and you also have medicine men, represented in the red war, the paint clan. All right. So if y'all want to get some of my merch, I did do this design. I have it on coffee and tea mugs, pillows, blankets, shirts, bags. This is to honor the matriarch, and it is yellow for a reason. The color of the long hair clan is yellow. All right. So honor and respect my ancestors, my culture, my land. So that's from the RRJXI tips. And later I will show Southeastern Talking Stick podcast or merch also. All right. So the Wild Potato Clan, their color is green. All right. The Wild Potato Clan is the bear, the raccoon, the blind Savannah Clan. Their tree is the birch tree. The Wild Potato Clan, the Anigatogiwi. They were the farmers, the gatherers of nature's food, crops, various crops along the swamps, the bayous, and streams. All right. So it's also represented with the bear and the raccoon. The deer clans. The deer showing up could also be a sign of great spirit showing up. All right. They practice deer medicine. It's also the buffalo clan. These were the hunters, the trackers, the seamers, the tanners, the fast runners, the foot messengers. So the women of the clan were wrapped in deer skin or buffalo skin. All right. Now, stickball is the battle of disagreements. Now, the friendship ceremony, the stump dance can happen during that time. You have the stickball game, which is the battle of the medicine people. It is a ritual, it is a ceremony. With the oak tree, they use the wood to build things, sturdy things from various oak trees, which I went over earlier. This is just the recap. So you have the deer clan, the Ani Awi. You have the wolf clans, the Ani Wea. The war chiefs and the warriors came from this clan. They were protectors of the people, community, and environment. There were wolves used in special sacred ceremonies. All right. People of the wolf clan, they were keepers of the wolves and trackers of the wolves. They studied the behavior. All right. They incorporated some things from the wolves. They learned from them. All right. The hickory tree is their tree Red is the color. The Panther clan, the Jaguar, the Wildcat clan. I put Jaguar in there because Panthers it's a family of Panthers, right? So you have the Wildcat, the Panther clan, also called the Blue Holly clan, which is the Ani Sahoni. They studied the behavior of various big wild cats. The Wasas, the cats, the Tudatsis, the Jaguar, the Panthers, all right, the Pumas, the mountain lions. All right, they made special medicines for the children. They taught about herbs, roots used for purification. Their tree is the blue holly tree, in which the blue holly is where they get the dark blue drink, which is like a bluish black, kind of like iridescent, like the raven or the crow's feathers are black, or even like the melanistic panther jaguar, which is very dark. All right. So you get that sacred black drink that is used for purification. So they were teachers, leaders, healers, and they focused on land and tradition. You had the bird clans, the birds of prey, the raptors, the Ani-Sisqua messengers, Anidohis of the clan flowed in various high spiritual bird medicine. They were the sacred keeper of the birds for hunting. Also, they were keepers of the sacred feathers for medicine and regalia. They were skilled at doing the blowguns and setting snare traps and doing hunting using birds. All right. You have the golden eagle, the red-tailed hawk, the hawks, the ravens, the condor, the macaw, the owl, the robin. All right. The sacred bird clan. They were spiritual messengers. You deal with bird medicine, it is said that you are close to Great Spirit because that's like considered the highest medicine. All right. And last recap. Tribal nations are made up of sacred clans. And I just went over the various clans. There were 12, and now there are 7. But in some of those clans are absorbed other clans within one clan, in which I mentioned those. So that's our recap for tonight. Oh, yeah, you were saying renew with the person for the friendship ceremony and move on. Yeah, that's all you can do. Yep, that is all you can do. And now I'm going to pull up this story about the rattlesnake. All right. And we're going to close out on that one. All right. So, this is from my website. And I did do some blog entries over the years. And so this is a Jalagi prophecy. So yeah, my website used to be under a certain moniker. But if you check out the link, I'll leave it in the link also. The link to my website, to my link tree. It has a link to my website, my store, and for all my people with admixtures, I deal with the different spirituality and culture of my Criollos ancestors, as well as Indigenous ancestors. So y'all can check out some spiritual medicine on there. All right, so let's go with the story. All right. All right. Let's see. Is it pulling up? All right, okay. All right, so here we go. All right, so this is a prophecy, right? It's the rattlesnake prophecy. All right, let me put on my reading glasses for this shit. All right, excuse me. Forgive me. All right. The stars above and its configurations hold time, untime, within its grasp upon all life. As all cultures sustain a zodiac system written upon time, untime. So also the um Cherokee, the Jalagi, all right, and of the Americas hold the ancient zodiac of the heavens. Within the zodiac of the heavens are etched ancient designs, all right, written upon them. I did speak upon the jaguar does have those rosettes, in the jaguar skin represents the cosmos, things in the heavens. With the zodiac, you pay attention to the different planets, the different constellations, right? All right, so all right, it says, okay, so I'm trying to get to the bean and the potatoes. I wrote this a long time ago. I got this from various sources. Um, okay. Okay, so it's 13 animal spirits, right? And it's dealing with time and untime. So inside of time and outside of time, basically. So this deals with this is talking about the similarities found within the Cherokee constellation, Scorpion, and Snake. And this in relation to others as Scorpio and the Serpent. This is the story of only one of these constellations, all right, the rattlesnake, which is found in prophecy. All right. In the sky is found the figure of the snake, and upon this snake it is the outline of the rattlesnakes. Sometimes the serpent and the rattlesnake take on its bearing of one or the other, but the snake of the rattlesnake and its design. All right, the rattlesnake constellation is not like the other cultures of the world. It has a head and winds itself back and forth within its body, as in a side winding itself to its tail. It's kind of like the Quaberos, or I may be mispronouncing that word, but it's like a constant circle type of thing. All right, this is unlike the boundaries of other zodiac cultures. In the heavens, the Pleiades star system is found as the tip of the rattlesnake's tail. The rattlesnake of the Cherokee is very sacred, and its sacredness is written even in the heavens. Upon the mouth of the rattlesnake is found 52 scales. These scales in the number of 52 is written upon the calendar of the Cherokee and upon the wheels and rings of time, untime. The calendar and of the Cherokee spins upon the wheels and rings as a sophisticated dating system. It not only tells time of events, people, places, and things, but also very holy and sacred elements within the Cherokee culture. All right. The rattlesnake can sometimes be imaged as a serpent. To be a serpent or to be a rattlesnake depends on the knowing of the times and the times of time untime. To know the culture of the Cherokee and its ancient design upon life, one must know the things of time untime in order to place the constellation as a rattlesnake or a serpent. But this is another story, okay? Let me get to the meat and potatoes. Okay, it says when the earth sees the fingers of spear fingers strike Jupiter, when the ages of rings and wheels tell that it is ending of the ages of cycles of 5, this will be the sign for the whole earth. For all the earth will see this thing to wake up from sleep. Like a lot of people are waking the fuck up. All right. These fingers that stuck Jupiter was the comet fragments that hit Jupiter. Okay, so this is just describing, like, they use different things to describe what's happening in the cosmos. So the tail of the rattlesnake is also revealing this, dealing with Jupiter. All right. So this is talking about in the 1990s, some things happened basically. That's when some people started to wake the fuck up. All right. So this was before the 2012 with the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. All right. So this is also talking about a war between Orion with Pleiades, and Jupiter warring with Venus. Venus also represents war and peace. It's a good thing to note. So it also talked about between 2004 and 2012, an alignment took place, both on the Cherokee calendar and in the heavens, of the rattlesnake constellation. Orion and Jupiter against white blue of the Pleiades and Venus. It is the time of Uku's choosing. All right. It is the time of the beloved woman and the mysteries of time untime. It is the time untime of the thunderbolt and the spirits of lightning mountains. So like the thunder beams, the beloved women waking up. Things like turning back to matrilineal, people honoring the matriarchal ways. All right. So basically, this is just talking about, okay, it says in the year 2004 and 2012, the rattlesnake constellation will take on a different configuration. The snake itself will remain, however, upon the rattlesnake shall be added upon its head feathers, and its eyes will open and glow, wings spring forth as a winged rattlesnake. It's kind of like the feathered serpent, Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl. A lot of our indigenous tribal nations have similar spiritual stories. All right. So get with the storytellers of your tribal nations. They could tell you about the different stories that are used to describe things that happen in the heavens. So the feathered serpent. All right. This is the feathered rattlesnake. Okay, so it says that it will be a winged rattlesnake. It shall have hands and arms, and in its hand shall be found a bowl. This bowl will hold blood. Okay, is that life-giving blood? So when you see things about blood, you gotta look at it. Is it representing life-giving blood, like the sacred menstrual blood from a sacred womb of a beloved woman, or is it the opposite blood? Um, Someone slain. All right. Upon its tail of seven rattles, all right, shall be glowing in the movement of the Pleiades. The rattlesnake shall become a feathered rattlesnake or a feathered serpent of time untime. So these changing of cycles, we've already been witnessing people waking up, people honoring the sacred stories, the oral tradition stories of their ancestors, like their grandma, their grandfather, their uncles, aunties, your parents, honoring the oral tradition stories and remembering those stories, talking to your elders, getting all that oral tradition stories from your people, your family, waking up to those, and people studying their genealogy, finding out who their clan is, uh, from the various tribal nations that are in your bloodline. All right. All right, so it says, upon the rattlesnake is also the Milky Way. A crossing of the Milky Way shall be seen at these times. All right. For the center of the universe is what many know as the constellation of Sagittarius by modern man, but upon this constellation is also found the Pleiades star system. And we can get into the star nations at another time, but your tribal nations, a lot of them have stories, oral tradition stories about the star nations, all right? So this is just a copulation of a sacred story about the constellations, all right? And they are using the rattlesnake, all right, as the feathered serpent. And that can also represent mastering not only things in the physical, but in the spiritual realm, the mental realm. All right, so okay, the Milky Way is also a tree. It's a sacred spiritual tree. Um, and you have the stone tree. And upon the stone tree is as a tree with a tree trunk, branches atop, and even roots. The flower in the tree is also a tassel of corn or maize. And upon the flower in the tree is the tree of life, rebirth, renewal, anew. All right. And yes, the Cherokee calendar ended in 2012, just like the It's a Mayan calendar ended at 2012, but that was just the end of a cycle. All right. We get that. It was the end of a cycle. Life happens in these stages. I don't care what tribal nation you from, they always going to have stories about birth, life, death, rebirth. It's the circle of life, the sacred circle of life. And that serpent or that snake chasing its tail or swallowing its tail, like the different derivatives of the stories, is just talking about the cycles of life are continuous. They are continuous. So that could be birth, life, death, rebirth, resurrection, just constant cycle. All right. So this was a rattlesnake prophecy or the feathered serpent prophecy. All right. and it's dealing with the rattlesnake constellation. So y'all can look into the different oral tradition stories of your tribal nations. Let me check one more thing before we close out. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Yes, that's the word. Yes, it is. Yes. Let me pull this up. Okay. Now, there is a flip side of this story of Uktina and Thunder. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up, right? I'm going to just share this. All right. So there are different sites that do speak on this, indigenous sites. All right. The boy and the rattlesnake story. So you have Uktina and Thunder, a massive crystal-eyed serpent with horns. Uktina is a formidable monster. In one vision, two boys feed it, but it turns on them. These stories are like to teach you lessons about life. They are like parables, allegorical stories, right? To teach you lessons about life, right? Thunder battles the Uktina, and the boys ultimately kill it, unalive it, by hitting it seventh spot, but must then use smoke from fires to ward off its deadly spirit. So that's one aspect of the rattlesnake story. The next one is the rattlesnake's vengeance. When a Cherokee woman unalives a rattlesnake believed to be their chief, the other snakes seek revenge. The father must offer his wife as sacrifice to appease them, teaching that unaliving one of their own brings severe consequences. So, this is just an allegorical story saying that basically you are not supposed to harm your own. You're not supposed to harm your brother or your sister or your relatives. You're not supposed to harm one another. And basically it could be consequences, severe consequences to this. All right, then there's a story about the boy and the rattlesnake, a classic allegorical story where a boy carries an old weak rattlesnake up on a mountain. The snake promised not to bite, but bites the boy after he helps it, explaining, "You knew what I was when you picked me up," teaching that one's nature cannot be changed by kindness or promises. So, one of the clans was talking about seeing with the second sight, but which is really the first sight. You got to see a person for who they are. You got to discern their spirit. You got to see them for who they are. They can be, you know, talking and promising things or doing acts of kindness, but their heart, their spirit, their intentions, their motives are foul. They fucked up. All right, and then you have this one, the daughter of the sun. This ancient oral story, both the Uktina and the common rattlesnake as transformed men. The rattlesnake bites the sun's daughter, causing darkness, while Uktina's failure leads to its banishment to the underworld, showing different roles for snakes in cosmic events. So the symbolism, caution and respect. Rattlesnakes symbolize danger, revenge, and animosity, used to teach children to disrespect boundaries and the power of nature. So, there are stories about the snake that view the snake as an evil entity. And then there are other stories that deal with the snake on different aspects, like the shedding of the skin, shedding, like changing your life, changing your habits, the way you think, the way you move, shedding of old skins. Also, it represents birth, life, death, renewal, that constant cycle. So that's another aspect of how our various ancestors with the admixtures, they viewed the snake in positive stories to get, a positive outcome, and then stories that showcase it as something evil or negative. All right. Nature's laws. Stories emphasize that some creatures, like Uctina, are inherently dangerous, while others, like the common rattlesnake, act according to their nature. And humans must understand and respect these differences. It's also a lesson in respecting nature, respecting the different animal spirits in nature. All right, this is hence why our ancestors studied the behavior of these different animals and birds of prey to understand their behaviors. And you can also relate these allegorical stories to things that's happening in your life or in somebody else's life. All right, balance. The Uctina stories often involve cosmic battles and efforts to restore balance, with the serpent representing chaos or threats to the world. All right, so you have things that represent chaos and things that represent balance. So that's just a little story time, because our ancestors did do a lot of ancient oral tradition stories. And let me pull up the disclaimer, and I'm gonna pull up this little three minute story. And I wasn't even trying to be on here this long. Okay. All right. Here we go. Pull up the disclaimer. And then we for real gonna close out. Anybody got any comments or questions? Pulling up the disclaimer. And then I will play this little video. All right. So, copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All right. All right, let me pull this up. All right, wait a minute. So, all right, this is from the Cherokee Nation's Facebook. All right. So this is a story time. oral tradition story. All right, here we go.
Growing up from my Navajo father, and I hear certain stories from my uncles, Cherokee ancestry. And from time to time, they would bring up funny stories, animal stories. I particularly like the animal stories. The Uuktan is what we're going to talk about today. Uuktan was a large creature, a serpent, and it had antlers on his head and a crystal right in the center of his forehead. And the Uuktan was based upon the number of stories I've heard from other storytellers, was sort of like a creature that symbolized almost death. One of the oldest stories I know is that the Uuktan at one time was found by two boys. They're out hunting. When they came over the top of a hill and they saw this large serpent out there, he seemed to be weak. And the serpent began to speak to him, says, I would keep you all safe if you'll feed me. Just keep feeding me. I feel like I'm dying. I couldn't eat anything. Just before you can bring me a rabbit or a squirrel, anything. So the boys decide to feed the serpent. So they go out there and they leave and they come back with some rabbits and some squirrels and begin to feed it. And when they leave and they come back a few days later to check on him, he's got a little bit bigger. They give him some more food and they leave again. But boys being boys, they tend to forget about him. And then they remember him, they go back. And when they go back, he's gotten larger. And he's sitting there and they see flashes of lightning from his eyes. And he keeps telling us to bring me some more food. His idea is basically to trick them to get him closer and closer so that when they toss the food at him, he can eat it. But if he wants to get them to the point where they trust him, that he gets close enough that he can eat the boys. Well, one day as they're walking along, they hear flashes and see thunder in the sky. And thunder is a human-like being comes down. And they watch as thunders come down. They hear this thrashing and sounds of battle. And so they come over top of the hill and say, that's where that snake lives. And when they come over there, there's this giant snake wrapped itself around Thunder, is choking and squeezing Thunder. Thunder's trying to hold the snake off, but Thunder's beginning to weaken. Thunder sees the boys and says, help me. You're part of me. Come help me. The snake is evil. It's going to kill everybody. So the Uuktan turns and looks at the boys and says, you fed me. You continue to feed me. Thunder is the one who's evil. Thunder comes up in the skies, turns the sky dark. Thunder is the one who's evil. The boys look at each other and they look at Thunder. And they see Thunder getting weaker and weaker. So they decide to take their arrows and they start to shoot at the Uuktan. They hit the spots. And he has different spots on his body where the scales are at. And as they're shooting the arrows, they begin to weaken the Uuktan. The Uuktan's eyes are flashing. Thunder begins to get a little bit more strength, starts to crawl back out. And then Thunder says, it's the seventh spot. You got to hit the seventh spot. So they aim with their bows and arrows and hit the seventh spot. And they take care of the Uuktan. The Uuktan falls over and dies. Thunder comes out, tells the boy, says, he's gone, but his spirit's still coming out. So it's going to come out as smoke and try to chase you. Don't breathe in the smoke. You're going to have to set fires, at least 7 fires away from him. So the two boys run off and set fires. And so Thunder's trying to keep the smoke away from the boys. And as the fires are lit, every time the smoke gets close to it, it begins to weaken and weaken. Finally, they hit the 7th fire and smoke dissipates. Thunder goes to the boys and says, thank you for saving my life. We are part of each other. You will hear me in the sky from time to time. When you hear me in the sky, don't worry. I am here as your part of helping you because rain and thunder are one, and we use water as well. And what I mean by that is that Cherokees have been known to go to water from time to time for healing purposes. And that is a story that I've heard from about the Uuktan and the two boys and Thunder.
So that was our story time of the night. Did anybody have any comments or questions? Football game. Okay. All right. Well, y'all quiet. Have y'all heard any oral tradition stories? What's your favorite oral tradition story besides your genealogy type oral tradition stories? but any allegorical stories that you've heard that's your favorite. Does anybody want to mention it in the chat? While y'all thinking on it, I'm going to pull up the website and then we're going to close out because y'all quiet. All right. All right, I'm pulling up the link. All right, I'm going to pull up the... Oh, my goodness. I'm going to pull up the link to the store. If y'all want to purchase our merch. But tonight's podcast was basically about... Let me pull it up. It was basically about animal spirits that show up as clan, totems, and spirit guides. So I went over that, and my premise was, of course, the Jalagi, Ani, and Waya clan system that I went over. So this was just what everything was about today. And I'm pulling up the link to our store, Southeastern Talking Stick Podcast. We do have merch. If y'all want to support us, like, share, subscribe, y'all can go cop some merch. And on Southeastern Talking Stick on our channel, my channel is listed towards the bottom of the page for your Creole and Indigenous needs. All right. So this is what we went over today, and I'm pulling up the link to our store, and we're going to close out. I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight. And next Sunday, Chatupa will be in the building. Today I have the talking stick, and next Sunday he will have the talking stick. All right, I'm pulling up the store. So if y'all want to cop our merch, the link is in the description. So we appreciate y'all. If y'all just want to get a coffee mug, a tea mug to represent, stand on business, represent your bloodline. And for those Southeastern tribes that was raised in the South, your ancestors was raised in the South, you know about that Negro engine. All right. Negro engine, I am. Negro Indian is actually mentioned in books that describe dark-skinned Indians of the Southeast. So that is mentioned in a lot of old books. You can look at our past podcasts and see the book references if you're new to our channel. All right. So we got merch if y'all want to support. All right. If y'all want to support, we appreciate y'all. So thank you to everyone. Shona Bischi, Wado Yakoki, Lashonda, Yati. Shout out to our moderator, cousin Lashonda, Yati Lashonda. Appreciate you. Wado Yakoki, Shona Bischi. And so, for those who deal with your admixtures, Creole, and Indigenous needs, you can hit me up and like, share, subscribe to the channel, Southeastern Talking Stick Podcasts. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all rocking with us on Sundays that we are here. And I just want to give y'all a round of applause. Thank y'all for rocking with us. So I'm going to close on that note. I appreciate y'all. Peace.